Today on Ask This Old House.
And we had a plumber come out to fix the leak. They wanted to take $3,000, rip everything out the surround, replace it with brand new stuff, and we just felt like that was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
So we wanted a second opinion.
I've never seen a shower valve like this in my entire career, and now it's leaking. I'm heading to Salt Lake City with a solution.
I'll show you how to refinish worn out stair treads. Finish is very important on a stair tread. You really want to protect that wood. Once you break through it, water, dirt gets into the grain, tough to fix them.
Yeah.
And this garage roof is covered in moss, but the solution is pretty simple.
Hi there, I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to Ask This Old House, where we have got the crew to answer questions about your house. We'd love to hear from you, so keep your letters and your emails coming. Where are you sneaking off to, Mr. Silva?
Hey, see, this viewer sent that.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about that?
Well, it's a pretty common problem. A lot of people have it. Check in with me later, and I'll show you.
You think you can fix it, huh?
Oh, I can fix it.
Of course he can fix it. Hey, Richard, how you
Hey,
doing?
good morning.
Finally going for that plumber's license.
Look, I flunked 25 times.
After all these years.
No, actually, we got an email from a homeowner that had a shower valve that they wanted repaired.
Oh.
And I had never seen the valve ever before. I've searched everything. I've sent this to every friend of mine in the industry.
A valve you've never
I
seen?
have not. So
That says something.
I think we're doomed. We're going to have to go there and replace it.
And where is there?
Salt Lake City, right on the way home. You must be Jordan.
Richard, welcome to Salt Lake City.
Nice to be here.
My family and I have lived in this house for about 2 years. I've got a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Oh boy, that must be exciting.
It's very exciting. We've got a couple of problems we want to show you.
All right.
Come on in.
Let's go. Place looks great in here. Have you done any of the work?
Yeah, we've done all the painting in the house and a few other small projects throughout.
Great.
It's a 1944 bungalow.
All right.
Bedrooms are right here on the left, kitchen's here on the right, but the real issue is our bathroom that I want to show you. So what we have here is a couple problems. The shower head is really short, but the valve, what we're having is it's leaking. And we had a plumber come out, he looked at it, said it might have been from an RV unit.
Okay.
And to fix the leak, they wanted to take $3,000, rip everything out the surround, replace it with brand new stuff, and we just felt like that was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
So we wanted a second opinion.
All right, let me peek in there. Why don't you jump out for a second? That plumber was probably right about one thing. I bet you this was an RV unit because I've never seen it from the standard plumbing industry, you know. There's no markings on it to say it's a name brand. And what it is a conventional 2-valve, it looks like. So it's got hot and cold pipes that probably come in this way. You just mix the hot and the cold, and it comes down through the tub spout or goes up to the shower head. Now, I could try to repair it. You know, it's probably got a washer inside. It's probably got a seat down below. But the thing is 70 years old, and you mentioned you got 2 young kids, right?
I do.
This was installed before the invention of a single lever pressure balanced shower valve. And this has got a balancing spool inside it to adjust for changes in pressure inside the building. That means if somebody flushes a toilet, you can't get scalded. So now the challenge is, how do you put it in here? The standard plate comes like this, yeah, but look what happens. It's not big enough to cover the old opening. So what the manufacturer makes is this really cool plate. And that would allow us potentially to open up the fiberglass right here to potentially have enough room to get in there and make the connections and put a new modern valve in without having to replace this fiberglass. So what do you think?
That sounds great.
All right, well, let me run down to the basement and turn off the water. All right, the water is shut off, and I've learned a lot about your house.
Okay.
Somebody has replaced almost every inch of the piping in this building with PEX, and that's good, except for one spot. Can you guess where?
Right behind the shower here.
Exactly. So here's, right behind us is that bathroom. Here's the shower. And right underneath us is this. This is original galvanized steel piping. And that was only used in this country for a short period of time, right around the 40s. You said 1944 here, right?
Yep.
During the war effort, they moved from threaded brass to save the precious metals for the armaments, and they went to this. As its name suggests, it's a steel piping with a galvanized coating, both on the outside and on the inside to keep it from rusting. And over time, that coating would wear away and it would start to rust. And it would rust from the inside and actually start to create a layer inside there, and it would impede the flow and ultimately clog the line, and then it could also leak at the thread. Now this was also, could only be connected by cutting and threading and using 2 wrenches, okay? So this is no longer used, it's been replaced by copper, and that's what we have to do here. The combination of this access panel and that remodeling plate on the other side means I can get you 2/3 of the way, right? We can do the copper. But right from the existing valve up to here is probably galvanized steel like this. And how am I going to tie onto that? I can't get 2 wrenches to tie onto it. So I'm saying, what are we going to do? How can we do it? I thought we could open up a wall, right? But not what the plumbers were thinking about. Right behind this cabinet is that shower arm. And if we can get this kitchen cabinet off the wall easily, see the screws here, 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 and we take it off, it means we could open up the wall. It would give us full access to the backside. We could put that shower head at any height you want, right?
Great.
And then we put it right back up and cover the hole. You up for that?
Yeah, let's do it.
I could do it for maybe $2,500.
Sounds
I'm
great.
really kidding.
Now you can watch This Old House and Ask This Old House anytime, anywhere. Download our new app to stream full episodes to your tablet, your TV, and your phone. Binge on classic episodes, catch up on recent renovations, and get step-by-step help projects all around the house. And best of all, it's free. The most trusted home improvement information is now available on your Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, iOS, and Android devices. Download the This Old House streaming app today.
We'll start by scoring around the edges of the cabinet on all 4 sides. This will ensure a clean break when we remove it. Here it is. A little more. Lovely. I've traced out the outline of the new cover plate and also marked out a buffer zone, so when I cut the fiberglass, I don't risk cutting too much of it away. Here's your valve, put that in your memory drawer. Then we cut an access panel on the other side of the wall in the kitchen. There we go. Look what we found! Here's a piece of the galvanizing. So look inside the pipe, you can see the rust forming on the inside. And that is the last of the galvanized, it's gone. Now it's time to start putting the new stuff in. It's going to be easier to make most of the soldering connections outside the wall and then slide the entire assembly into place after. All right, we've got a new hole drilled for the new height of the shower arm. Here's the old one right here. All right, Jordan, I'm going to drop this whole valve assembly down to you. Try to get it into the pipes down into the holes where the galvanized pipes used to be.
All right.
Nice, nice. Okay, a little more. Excellent. All right, now hold that valve body in the center of that new opening, okay?
All right, give me just a second. All right.
All right, now there's a tub spot with a piece of pipe. Stick that through
Okay.
and have it rest on the bottom and push the spout tight. And let me
Okay.
just mark that. Okay. Now pull that tub spout back and cut the pipe at the mark, please, and then clean the pipe.
Okay, here it comes.
Thank you. Hold on. Okay. Now push that all the way in.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna have to solder pretty close to this wood. I want to soak it really well. All right, so here's our new shower arm. I've drilled a hole way up here. That's about 12 inches higher. But to block off the old hole, I'm going to use a thing called a caulk hole cover. Normally, this is used on a stainless steel sink to cover the hole where a spray hose might go. I've got a little caulking in the back. All right, Jordan, I want you to catch that nut on the back. Okay, go ahead.
Got it.
Put the nut on it.
Okay.
I'm going to feed this riser down to you. Just get it into the top of the shower valve. This piece will run from the valve up to the shower head.
Okay.
Good. Put the shower arm in temporarily and to catch the thread. So put it up through and spin. You caught? Good.
Got it?
Yeah. Now we're just one more solder connection to make in the bathroom. I don't want any of these pipes banging around when the water's running, so I'm going to add some blocking between the studs and then secure the pipes to that. Finally, we connect the hot and cold supply lines from the basement back up to the shower. So here's our cover plate. It has a diverter dial down here that picks between tub spout and shower head. And on the back, look, it's a nice gasket. You don't have to put caulking. We stick it on here, line up the diverter. Okay. And there's a nice cover cap right here. And we hold it with 2 screws. Let's get it caught on the top of the tile.
There we go.
All right, I'll hold it in place. You get the screws, please. All right, homeowners always get the first shot at it. Go ahead, turn it from cold. Now spin it around a little more, it's hot. All right, then there's a diverter slide at the bottom. That takes it from the spout up there. And you have a pressure balanced shower valve. You don't have to worry about getting scalded anymore.
Thank you so much for coming out to Salt Lake City to fix this problem.
I couldn't have done it without you. You were awesome. You were great.
He was a big help. That was a clever solution you had there.
I was glad that kitchen cabinet was there. It helped a lot.
So you ran PEX. There was PEX already in the house.
Yep.
You ran it the last, but then you used copper for sort of all of the assembly. Why not PEX the entire way?
Well, I could have, but I really like the idea of building a tree. You know, the valve with the branches that hit to give some rigidity. Because once you have that inside the wall, you're going to turn that shower valve, and it gives me a chance to anchor it better in the wall. So I don't hate copper inside the wall.
Skeleton almost the whole
That's
stuff.
right. That's right.
So the one bit of soldering you did in the wall, where you didn't pre-assemble, was that elbow going to the tub spout,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
When you put the shower head in, it was threaded.
Sure.
Why not put the elbow together, solder outside, and then thread into it?
Good question. I mean, that shower L with the thread up here, with the shower arm, doesn't matter. It can be any length, and you have an escutcheon there to cover it. But with the tub spout, I really wanted that tub spout to be as tight as possible back against the fiberglass. So with him holding it tight against there, I could measure that exactly and make sure I didn't have to caulk that tub spout. So
Because there's not a escutcheon plate.
that's
to
right.
hold
You
that.
could do it the other way, but it guarantees me a little tighter fit that way.
You know your stuff.
You're getting the hang of it too.
Want to tackle all your home improvement projects with confidence? Join This Old House Insider, a new streaming service from This Old House, the iconic Emmy-winning series that inspired a generation of home enthusiasts. Stream over 1,000 episodes of This Old House and Ask This Old House commercial-free. Watch it all in the This Old House app. And join live online Q&As with our experts. Best of all, you can try Insider free for 7 days. To join, go to thisoldhousemembership.com.
Hey, Nathan.
Hey, Kevin.
So it looks like you got Michael's email, Michael from Rhode Island, who's got that staircase pretty beat up. The finish has been worn off, and they're clearly ready to be redone.
They are. They're in desperate need of repair. First thing, the finish is very important on a stair tread. You really want to protect that wood. Once you break through it, water, dirt gets into the grain, tough to fix them.
Yeah.
But this is a cutaway of a modern stair tread. This is solid nosing, veneered top and bottom, but it still has a solid oak core to it. So you need to be careful when you're doing a lot of sanding.
Don't sand through that. And I think one of the reasons why people don't want to take on this project is because the sanding is fussy, not just for that reason, but you got to go against all of the edges and sometimes around the balustrade spindles.
A lot of tight points.
Yeah, so Michael wants to know, can he do it himself?
Definitely, definitely. Any homeowner can do it. I got a couple tricks to show them how.
Let's see it.
First, I need to strip it down to bare wood.
Using what grit?
I'm going to start with an 80. In a lot of older homes, you're going to have a lot of built-up poly inside the corners. I'm lightly going to use a scraper to pull that away. In between passes, I like to grab the vacuum and vacuum up all the dust and debris.
And how many different grits are you going to use?
I'm just going to use an 80 and a 120.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, these are hard-working stairs. You know, they're going to get beat up. They're not a piece of furniture. Now we're ready to add the polyurethane to the tread, but if you want to, this would be a great time before you do to paint your risers or your scotia, or even swap the scotia out for some oak if that's your style.
Mm-hmm. And you don't need the tape.
I got a pretty good brush here and a pretty steady hand, so if you wanted to, you could tape off the edges. If the homeowner wanted to, they could actually change the color of the tread by applying some stain, but you really got to do a good job getting rid of all that old polyurethane. If you don't, that stain won't take to the tread.
And then you're going to see it, right? It's just not going to be even.
Yeah, it's not going to look clean. And when applying the polyurethane, it's nice to go with the grain and just do nice even strokes. And when you finish the tread off, do one nice long passing stroke with the grain.
Looking pretty good. So how many coats?
I'm going to do 3 coats. I'm going to let this dry for a couple hours. I'll come in, I'll sand it, tack cloth it, apply another coat of poly, repeat the process, and it's all set.
All right. Well, I think Michael's got everything he needs, right? He can pull this off, can't he?
Absolutely.
All right. Nice job, man.
Thank you.
Brian,
Hey Tom, glad you're here.
nice to be here.
Appreciate it.
You wrote me about your roof.
Yes, we've got some moss on the roof. We'd love to have you check it out.
All right, let's take a look. Over
Right
here,
on
I'm
this side,
guessing?
yep.
Yeah, I can see the trees. That's usually a sign. Anyway, we get shade, you're gonna have moss, and you've got moss, I see that.
Yeah, we got a fair bit of it.
Yeah. You know, the best thing is to try to get sunlight on the roof. You could cut down some trees, but
Don't really want to do that. We'd love to keep them, and they're our neighbor's trees.
yeah. Well, cutting down the trees on this side here is still not gonna be enough.
Okay.
Because the sun is coming from the other side of the house.
Right.
This little bit of shade that the sun doesn't get will still grow moss. It might not be as bad, but it's still gonna grow
Yeah.
moss. All right.
What can we do about it?
Well, first of all, we have to take it off. The reason we have to take it off is because it's going to shorten the lifetime of your roof. That moss holds moisture when it gets wet.
Yep.
Longer, the shingle won't dry out. So the shingle gets saturated. That moisture is then transferred to the sheathing, and it could rot the sheathing.
Okay, I don't want that.
No, you don't want that, so we got to get it off.
Let's get rid of it.
Okay. All right, Brian, working on a roof is dangerous. So we have our harnesses, we have our line, our fall protection, and a bracket that I've screwed to the rafter so that we don't fall.
Okay, great.
Okay? Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to lightly sweep off the roof and remove some of the moss.
Hey Tom, would you ever use a power washer to get this off?
Well, as a homeowner, I would say no, because number one, I wouldn't want a homeowner up on a roof that's wet
Right.
with a power washer. And you could also damage the roof shingle if the power washer is too strong.
Okay.
And that's why I said to you, we want to sweep it lightly.
Yeah, got it.
It's all right if we don't get all of it. We're really going after the big pieces and kind of the loose pieces.
Okay.
All right, we removed most of the moss that was on the roof,
Right.
swept it clean to get rid of the debris. There's still another step that we have to do, but before we do that, I want to install this metal strip right here across the top of the roof.
What does that do?
This is actually a zinc strip.
Okay.
And what the zinc does is it'll be exposed, so when the rainwater hits it, the rainwater will take the particulates out of the metal. It will run down the roof. It will kill off the moss, the lichen, and the mold.
Really, and that works.
That works, and so will copper or lead.
Great.
All right, so now you take this roll. You're gonna roll it out a little bit, and watch out for the edges, because I don't want you to cut yourself. I'll get it started right here. Let me get one nail in here before you go too far. All right, we're just going to use a black roof cement to seal the nail head.
Great.
Have you do that.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to also drive it home, and you're going to put another one on top of it.
Great.
The reason we're face nailing this and sealing the nail is because we're nailing through the flange and I'm keeping it up high to the ridge vent. Normally we could keep it down 1 or 2 rows.
Okay.
And that would slide up underneath the shingle, and then the shingle would hide the nail. But your roof had so much moss up under that ridge vent, I felt it better to put it tight to the ridge vent. All right, now we're just going to wet down the roof with these pump-up sprayers, and we've mixed about 1/3 of a gallon of bleach to 1.5 gallons of water.
Okay.
And I had you wet down the grass and the plants down below so that if any bleach spills down there, it won't kill the plant.
Great. How long will it take to kill all this?
Oh, it's probably going to take a few days. And before you know it, you won't have any moss. All right, Brian, it's always good to wash down the plants before and after, especially after, so if we rinse away any of the residue bleach that you come down, you won't kill your plants.
Great.
Now, it's probably going to take a few days for that moss to start dying. Then a good rainstorm will rinse it away, and it's be good as new.
Great, and that zinc's going to keep it from coming back, right?
It's supposed to.
Fantastic. Thanks so much.
My pleasure.
All right.
It's all yours.
Nice job, Tommy. And he seemed like he was a good helper,
He was a great helper, and he wasn't afraid of heights.
which is not always the case when it comes to homeowners.
That's right. If I say if you're a homeowner and you're afraid of heights, hire a professional. Do not get up there.
But if you are willing to get up there, it's about safety. You guys had your harnesses on, which
Right.
was great. We've seen you wear a couple different kinds. The one you had on in that piece, which
The
is
rope,
the rope,
rope and the lanyard.
That's his little break here, right?
That's right.
But you've also worn something like this in the past.
Yeah, much bigger.
And it's like a seatbelt, right?
Yeah, that's a retractable, and it has the lanyard right here, but it actually senses a sudden jerk. Yeah, see, it'll grab. So if I started to fall quickly, it would stop me.
This is a lot more compact than that. You have a preference?
Yeah, I prefer the rope, as much of a pain it is, but you have to make sure the rope stays out of the way so you don't trip on it.
Right.
Because if you wear this and it's attached to you all day long, this is pulling on you, and it's always trying to pull you back up to the roof.
Right.
It's a bit of a pain.
Well, I thought you were a pain. That's
Yeah.
a bigger pain. All right. So if you're going to wear either one of these, it all comes down to how you secure it to the roof. You've got a bracket that you've got to get in, and you said go into the rafters.
You have to go into structure.
How do you find the rafters? You're going to use your knuckle again there, Jedi
Well,
Knight?
I could use my knuckle and find it very easily, but you, I don't know. But if you listen, I listen by sound, and I can actually feel the difference. So start banging.
Oh, yeah.
There's a rafter right there. So if I continue on, oh, there's a rafter there, and a rafter there, hollow.
Nice.
All right? So the idea of it is you can go to the home center and you can buy a starter kit like this.
Right.
And in that starter kit, it gives you pretty much everything you need, from the harness to the bracket that you mount on the roof, the screw, and the rope.
Okay.
All right? So this goes on a ridge. There's different types. This one goes over a ridge. You find the rafter, you place it over it, and you put 6 screws on this side, 6 screws on that side, and you attach your bracket to it.
Great. You survived the day. You don't fall off the roof. Now you got to take that off, and you got 12 holes through your roof.
12 holes aren't bad. You haven't fallen and you haven't got hurt. But those 12 holes are easily repaired. You just take, there's a tube of caulking, and it actually has a roofing mastic in it.
Yep.
With the tip, you force the caulking into the hole, and you just smooth it over, and that won't leak.
Same stuff that you use to seal the nails when you're hammering in that metal strap.
Exactly.
Awesome. Good information, Tommy. Thank you. Well, we'd love to hear from you, so keep your letters and your emails coming. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Connor
And I'm Tom
for
Silva.
Ask This Old House. Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button. Make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.